Greetings, Benjamin J from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, I did that video yesterday or last night on this transition car I built out of an old Lionel girls car. Anyway, it came in a box of parts and I just added a tab and slot and makes a transition car. Lionel on one end, tab and slot on the other, so you can transition from Marx to Lionel, Lionel to Marx. Anyway, I got no less than 5 emails about that, asking for a demonstration of how to build one. So, this is a Lionel flat car that came with that set I bought last week. Got the entire set for $6, $5.97, whatever it was. Anyway, so these are fairly cheap. It's just a flat car and plastic trucks with steel wheels and axles. And couplers, of course. Anyway, so I popped the rivet out of this side so I could take the truck off. It's really simple to do this. I've got the sniffles tonight, sorry. I'm allergic to mineral oil in the smoke units. And it really tore my nose up. Anyway, all you got to do is pull the rivet out. You have to start with a Lionel car, of course. So take the truck off, just like I've done. We're going to replace it with an 832 plastic screw and nut. And so all you do, you take the Lionel truck off. Here's a tab and slot coupler. Now you notice how I've bent it. And it's really simple. It's just a Z-shaped bend. And so you take the screw, put it down through the top. This gives you a nice finished effect, as you see. I'm trying to do this through the camera. All right, anyway, so plastic screw, put on a tab and slot, and put on the truck. Now, start to screw this nut on here, and it's really neat. Watch what happens. This nut goes down and it fits perfectly into this slot. So as I tighten this up, it pulls that nut down into that slot and fits it like it was made for it. So we'll just start tightening this down, and as you see, that nut is fitting absolutely perfectly down into that slot on the truck. So all you do is snug this up. It's a fairly long screw. All right, back it off just a bit so it's free to swivel. A bit too tight. Let's loosen it just a bit. There we go, and there you have a transition car from Lionel to Marx or Marx to Lionel. It's really simple, and you haven't lost anything because you can swing this entire truck around, as you see, and it gives you Lionel on this end or on both ends, or swing it around and you have tab and slot on one end. There we go. It's really simple. And then you have to make this bend to bring this down to the right level, but it's really simple to do that. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video, so let me take the camera off the tripod. So we've just built this thing in a matter of what, 2 minutes? So throw it on a consist, Lionel on this end, tab and slot on this end, and we are ready to run. So you've just built a transition car that will pull Lionel behind a Marx consist. As you see, it works absolutely perfectly. So it only takes a minute to build this. And this is a fairly light car, but I just wanted to do a quick video on how to build it from scratch. And so I just used the smallest, cheapest car I had. Anyway, all I did was popped out one of the rivets, pulled the truck off, added a tab and slot coupler, put the truck back on it, insert the screw and nut, and you have a perfect transition car from Lionel to Marx, or Marx to Lionel. Really, really simple to do this. And you swing the coupler around and you still have the original Lionel knuckle couplers on both ends. So it's a really, really easy project. It only takes a minute, and it really comes in handy. I wish I'd done this last year. It's just so much easier to have a car you can just pick up and put on the back of a Lionel Consist and run Marx, or put it on the back of a Marx Consist and run Lionel. It's really, really simple. It costs virtually nothing. The cost of the tab and slot, and about 20 cents for that plastic screw and nut. And as you see, that nut fits in there like it was made for it. It fits in there just absolutely perfectly. Now, if you want to make sure this never comes off, just snip that off short and then melt the end of it with a soldering iron. And it'll never be able to pass that point. It'll always remain that tightness. It's really simple, really easy to do this, to make this car. And the best thing about it, of course, is the fact that it works. It only takes a second. It instantly couples Lionel to Marx, or Marx to Lionel, and you are ready to run. Really, really simple to build this. So a tab and slot on one end, a Lionel on the other, and you haven't had to change anything. All you had to do is add the tab and slot coupler, and the car is ready to run. As you see. So it works. It works absolutely perfectly. And it only takes a minute to do this. And you can use any Lionel car. I just used this flat car because it was really inexpensive. It came with that set that I got last week. And it was handy, so I just used this one. And all you do, pop out one of the rivets, take off the truck, add the tab and slot, put a screw back on in it to replace the rivet, or put a rivet back in it if you have a rivet gun or rivet setter, and you have built a perfect transition car. And it looks nice, and it works. That's the neat thing about it. And as you see, it lines up perfectly, tab and slot to tab and slot, and Lionel to Lionel. So it's the perfect application. It's really simple. It's really inexpensive. It's really fast. And best of all, of course, it works. Like I said, I wish I'd done this last year. Anyway, really, really simple way to do this. So for everyone who sent the email, here is the video, crude as it may be, but it's really simple to do this, and anybody can do it. And all you need is the tab and slot. In fact, this is the tab and slot that came off that broken 490 body that got here yesterday, whenever it was. Anyway, so I make use of all the parts, and when parts are available, you can do all kinds of little things. And it's these little things that make the rest of it so much easier. Because once you have this built, you now have an instant coupler for Lionel to Marx or Marx to Lionel, and it looks nice. Best of all, it works. Anyway, I just want to do a video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.